brothers, the Barnett brothers. This was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's where I came from Europe directly to New York on a ship, and then from the ship, we didn't even stay one day in New York. They put us on a train to Minneapolis. So I'm now in Minneapolis, and I'm working at 80 cents an hour. The bosses were two Jewish fellows, two brothers, and they saw what a good job I was doing. They said, Hart, I changed my name from Hertz. It used to be Hertz Hasten. Now it's Hart Hasten. Should have left it Hertz.
Tell them your name when you were little. What was your name when you were a child?
They used to call me Hetchy. Yeah, Hertz. Hetchy. So now he says, you're going to get a raise. You get a dime raise. Starting next week, you'll see it on your check. You will get 10 cents, 90 cents an hour. Oh, I was so happy. I came home, Dad, 90 cents, I'm going to make 90 cents an hour. Okay, good. I look at my check. I didn't get the raise. So I went to the boss and I said, hey, I didn't see a raise. I says, my English is bad. I can hardly say anything. But my math is good, you know. I didn't see the raise. And he said, oh, next week. This went on for 3 months. He never saw the raise. So now, not only did I not get a raise, but he laid me off because there wasn't enough work. So he says, you go home. Went home. A week later, I got a phone call from the boss, Mr. Barnett. Come back to work. And yes, we have work now. Come back. I said, sure, I'm coming back. My dad looked at me. He heard me call. He said, you're not going back. Dad, I'm the only breadwinner here. I said, we need the money. He says, you are not going back to work for him. Because he didn't keep his word, and you must not work for him. So I went back on the phone. I said, sorry, my dad says I can't work for you, so I'm sorry. A day later, I got again a call. Come back. I said, he said, why aren't you coming back? I says, because my dad says you didn't give me the raise. You didn't give me the dime raise. Oh, don't worry about the raise. I was making about $30 a week. He says, you're going to be making $50 a week. So I went back to that. Yeah, $50 a week. I'm going back to work. You're not going to work. You're not going to work for these people. So I went back and told him, sorry, you can't do it. I'm not coming back. The next day, $60, $70 another day. They kept badgering me more than a week, every day, come back to work. You'll make $70. I says, Dad, $70 a week. This is a lot of money at that time. You're not, even it said they give you $700. You are not working for these people. And he was right. I went, got another job at 90 cents an hour at a company that I worked for 15 years. In fact, I worked until they transferred me from Minneapolis to Indianapolis. That's how I wound up in Indianapolis in 1964. I was transferred here because I already made it. Oh my gosh, this went back fast. As I started off working as an elevator operator, a freight elevator operator for 90 cents an hour, and 10 years later, I was the superintendent of the whole plant, which is a factory producing bags, 200 employees. I transferred to Indianapolis as the superintendent of the plant. See, in the meantime, I went to school, evening school. I had to work during the day. I went to college. I had 3 years of college, but I decided at the last minute that I don't want to be an engineer. I was going to be an engineer. I wanted to be in management. So anyway, this is another story, which we are out of time, but I was glad that Dad advised me. He said, you have to be proud. You should not work for people that want to exploit you like they wanted to exploit you. You don't work for people like that. You have to be proud. And he was right, because at that company I worked myself up to be superintendent, came to Indianapolis, and then in I'm back to 1981, I already had a business. In 60, when I came here, 1 year I worked for Bemis. That's the company I worked for. And a year later I quit because I said if I can make so much money for them, I can make money for myself. I went into my own business. And the business was a nursing home. Started nursing home business. I brought my brother in here 3 years later. This was 1965. In 68 he came, and we together build and established 10 nursing homes in 10 years. And in 1981, we sold the nursing homes. This was a big event, you know. We sold our nursing homes. In 1991, I actually went back to Bohorod-Chane, to the shtetl, because I found out that how they killed probably my family and the people. I don't want to go into that. It's very, very sad, and I don't want to go into that at this time. But I went back there, and in now 2001, there's 1 more year, right? I wrote a book. In 2001, I decided to write a book. And I'll just very briefly now, when I was 6 months into the book, I read an article saying, if you have a book, I remember the title, it was the New York Times, Joe Epstein wrote it, he's a writer from Chicago. He says, if you have a book in you, don't. And I started thinking, and he was explaining it. He says, 83,000 books are being published every year. Most of them are not needed and not wanted and not necessary. Save the trees, don't write a book. So I thought to myself, no, I'm writing a book, maybe I shouldn't. And after about a month or 2 months, I came back and said, no, I want my children to know what I went through, and I want my grandchildren and great-grandchildren someday to know what happened to me during the war. And I'm so glad I didn't listen to the guy that I wrote the book. And now you can read it too, and that's wonderful. It wasn't meant for the public that much, you know, it was meant for our own family. So that's how the book came to be written. And then, of course, we had wonderful experiences over the years. Of course, the school meant a great deal to us. This was a story in itself, how we did it. By the way, chapter 11 will explain to you how we started the day school here, okay? And then so many other things. We had the privilege of meeting very important people. One of my big heroes is Menachem Begin. Did anybody know this? Yeah. Who was Menachem Begin?
My grandpa, a prime minister.
He was a prime minister, number 6. Number 6, no. The number 6 prime minister in Israel, Menachem Begin. In fact, he visited the school. And at that time, this was 1973, and just by accident, I found a picture, and he was signing. The kids wanted to meet him. He was not prime minister yet, and I have it here, and then you can look at it. Yeah, I thought I had it. Jeez. Did I put it out here? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Just put it. Let everybody see it. This is Menachem Begin signing books in 1973 for the children. I wanted you to see it. It just so happened that I ran into it. Okay, so now. I'll tell you, I wrote down what I want to say to you just at the very end. I want to leave you with this thought. You're attending a good, wonderful school. You are being taught about your heritage, going back all the way to Abraham Avinu, some 3,500 years ago, and I want you to stand tall and be proud. Be proud of being Jewish, and be proud of our Torah, and to be unafraid, proud of Israel, our homeland, and face the world boldly, and say to yourself, I'm a Jew, I'm an American, and I'm not afraid of anything. God bless you.